Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Vedran and I'm CEO of Revuto. Last time I did a video about how I started the Revuto, and I actually recorded the video during the night, and I was not pleased with the second part of the video because it was already very late, and I wasn't actually very fluent about the second part. So I'm going to redo the video, and this time I'm going to talk actually what is Revuto, what are the core features of Revuto, and what should Revuto do for you as a customer. So to make things quick, I'm going to share my screen. I actually have a presentation, and we're going to go through the slides, and I'm going to explain more detail about the Revuto and the core features and why we think that this is something that should reinvent the subscription economy. And there's some reasons also explained. There will be some reasons explained about why we actually decided to work on Revuto, although I did some explanations in my previous video as well. So let's now share a screen. Yeah, let's share a desktop. It's going to be easier. Okay, PowerPoint. From start. Okay, now we're here. We're going to put here. So here, Revuto, it says your subscriptions, your money, your decision. I think that I already explained that subscriptions are your things. Subscriptions are eating the world. I'm going to show you some stats about the subscription business and why it's so popular and why the economy, subscription economy, is growing every year. Some of them say even like 100% year over year. And when it comes to subscriptions, it's more about your money because you're paying for those things to use them. So when paying for those things, it should be your decision and not decision of you shouldn't be in the mercy of service providers once you pre-authorize your debit or credit cards with service providers. So to move on the next slide. Yeah, the main thing that we want to do is actually reinvent how people subscribe and control and pay for their subscriptions. And the main goal is to disrupt the subscription economy and save hundreds of millions of dollars. So this is really important. We want to save people's money to its users and on their subscriptions. So why is that important? Let's move this here, actually. Again, subscriptions are eating the world at the expense of consumers. Market worth more than 650 billion euros or dollars. Yeah, when you say at expense of consumers, what we believe is now that there is a big discrepancy between the service providers and the users on the other hand. Why? Because once you give them your details of your credit or debit cards, you're in their mercy, you're in their hands. You pre-authorize your debit cards with those guys, and then they can control you and take money from those cards unless you unsubscribe. And we already went through those things when we said that sometimes it's really hard to unsubscribe from those services because they make it on purpose hard to unsubscribe. The second thing is that sometimes it's easy to subscribe to something. For instance, the Netflix is a great example. You can go to set-top box or smart TV and subscribe with Netflix easily. But to unsubscribe, you need to go to your account on their web page. And for many people, that is really pain in the ass. Also, free trial traps. We talked about those as well. So we all tend to try something and we think that we're going to unsubscribe on time, but then we forget, and then they charge us for the next billing cycle, but sometimes not just for the next month, but for a year. And it's also a big problem for the banks because of the chargebacks. Those things are growing exponentially. Also, there is a fact that people are losing money. Actually, I'm going to show that on the next slide. Let's go now just here to explain what is the big problem also with this market. So the market is growing, and there is a fact that in the next 3 to 5 years, 75% or more businesses are going to offer their products or services on a subscription business model. So we even see the trend in car business when BMW announced that you're going to actually be paying for additional features in your car on a subscription business model. So if you want to have, I don't know, 4-zone climate control instead of a 2-zone, you're going to be paying monthly. If you want to have a massage seats, you're going to pay. So car is going to be pre-equipped with all those options, but still to be able to use them, you're going to have to pay on a monthly basis. So market size, it's growing rapidly. And again, we think that, you know, we can save a lot of money for our users by allowing them to control their subscription payments. Okay. So yeah, a big portion of the money monthly budget goes to subscriptions. So it says 5%. More importantly, there's the fact that 50% of the things that people are currently paying for, they're not using. And there is a big difference between what people think that they're paying for, how much actually on a month, and what they're actually paying. So 2.5x is the estimate. It's a difference between what we think, how much we're paying for, and what we are actually paying for. And I did that. I tried to calculate how much I was paying for monthly for my subscriptions. So first of all, I didn't know. And then when I did all the calculation, when I put all together what I was paying with this car and that car, so I was amazed with the number. And also, this is what I wanted to come back to. So there is also the fact that there's 50% of those expenses that we are losing on something that we prepay for on a longer period of time. We're going to come to that once when we tackle that thing that we call subscription NFTs and how we are trying to solve that problem. But again, those things that you prepay for a longer period of time, when you opt to pay for something on a longer period of time, for instance, for 12 months, usually what you do, you're going to use that subscription for a month, 2, 3 months, 4 months, and then afterwards you're going to forget about it, but still you prepaid for that. So you paid something that you're not going to use. So that's a big pain. So when we talk about the Revuto, so what we are, so we pitch ourselves as a fintech company because we are a regulated business, although we are offering Web3 products, or let's say we are utilizing Web3 technology to offer superior financial products. And that is a big difference between us and everybody else. We build a tailor-made features to help people better manage their subscription payments and also to save money on their subscriptions. And those are mostly connected to the Web3 technology. That's interesting. I'm going to go specifically which setups we use to help you save money, but this is really something unique on the market. Also, one of the core features that we yet to have to launch is basically the traditional financial instrument, which is called the debit card. So everything that we do is connected to those debit cards. In the end, you're going to be using those Revuto debit cards, which are prepaid debit cards. Firstly, they're going to be virtual. Later on, we're going to be issuing physical debit cards as well. But everything that you do when it comes to subscribing to your services, you're going to do with Revuto debit cards. So again, reinventing how you subscribe, control, and pay for your subscription. So the core feature of the app is subscription management. And we call it active subscription management because once when you use your Revuto debit card to pre-authorize it with your service provider, with your account, then you can actively manage those payments. And we give you an easy option to snooze, block, or approve every payment that occurs. And what that means. So every time when there is a due date, 24 hours before the due date, Revuto is going to send you the notification if you want to approve, block, or snooze your payment. So obviously, if you want to block the payment, it gives you an option not to pay for that next billing cycle. Still, you're going to stay, your account is going to stay active. The service provider at one point is going to suspend the service for you. But if you, for instance, decide to unblock that payment at any time and top up your debit card, Revuto debit card, the service provider is gonna, see that there is a money on your card which is pre-authorized with them, is gonna take that money and is gonna unsuspend the service for you. And this is a great tool to allow you that control seasonality of your subscription. So this is something that you cannot do when you use directly your credit or debit cards with the service providers. And this is something that they count on, because as long as you're going to get a paycheck or anything or money on that account connected to your debit or credit card, they're going to be able to take money on a due date from you, unless, again, you unsubscribe. But here with Revuto, you don't have to unsubscribe. You can stay subscribed, but still you can block the payment, and you can still keep all your preferences with your service provider and your details. And once when you decide to unblock or to pay, you can do it after a month, 2 months, 3 months, it depends, it's your choice. Then there is the option to snooze the payment. And this is something that is unique on the market. So when we talk about the snoozing, it's actually talking about postponing the decision to pay for something. Why is that important? So just imagine if you leave your personal debit card with Netflix and Dropbox, and the Netflix due date is tomorrow and the Dropbox due date is today. So what happens? They always come on first come, first serve basis, how they take money from you. So for instance, if you now have money to pay only one service, and you know that you don't necessarily have to pay to Netflix, to Dropbox, because Dropbox is giving you a grace period during which you don't have to necessarily pay Dropbox and still be able to use it. So I know that the Dropbox is gonna allow you to be late for 30 days. But for instance, Netflix, if you don't pay them on a due date, they're gonna suspend the service immediately. So for instance, if the Dropbox is today and they take money from you, you actually don't have money to pay for the next tomorrow. So if you would have an option how to decide what pay, although the due date for Dropbox is today and for Netflix is tomorrow, that would help you a lot to still keep both services alive. This how with the snooze payment, we allow you actually to decide for how many days you want to postpone the payment to particular service. And then we're gonna crowdsource those decisions. And then later on, actually even suggest you up how many days maximum you can postpone the payment and still keep your service alive. And this tool, or that snooze payment feature, is going to allow people to maximize their financial potential. This is really important for younger generation people who have constraints with the cash flow and things like that. And we believe that that's an amazing feature. And eventually you can approve the payment, what means that your Revuto debit card is going to be top up with sufficient amount of money which you put in Revuto, and that your service is going to be paid. What is also important is that Revuto is using the webhooks to get information when the due date is and how much somebody is trying to charge you. So for instance, if you set up your subscription, that's the price is $10, and then if somebody wants to charge you $12, then you're going to get a notification that there was a change in pricing of that subscription, and if you want to actually pay that or not, if you want to approve that change in the price. Also, if they're going to be changing a billing cycle or a due date, we're going to get the notification to you. So all those small things make a difference, because then control is in your hands and you're going to be the one deciding what to pay or not. Okay, second thing, save and earn. So we allow, when we talk about those virtual debit cards, which we issue for each of your subscriptions, we allow you to predefine how you're going to top up those debit cards. So you can actually top up those debit cards with your credit or debit cards again, and or with your crypto wallet. We believe that this is really also awesome feature because it allows you to choose every month between those top-up options for your subscriptions, because sometimes maybe this month you want to pay with, I don't know, your bank account or bank card, maybe with your Revuto card, PayPal card, maybe with your Binance card, Crypto.com card. It doesn't matter. So it gives you an option to actually switch between those payment options, and then also to use directly our crypto wallet. Also, whenever you make a payment with Revuto debit card, and that's a big advantage compared when you leave your personal debit or card directly with the service provider, is that you're going to get a cashback, a reward. And that cashback is 4% in our token. And if you get in our ecosystem early, you can actually count that the price of our token is going to go up with how our ecosystem and user base grows, and how the demand of our token is going to grow, because we have some additional features where people are going to have to buy our token to unlock specific things within Revuto. So you can count on that the price of that token is going to go up, and people are going to speculate, maybe invest also directly in our token, and that 4% cashback can in the end become like a 40% of the cashback. So even maybe eventually that service could be free of charge for you, because the cashback could even be bigger than what you paid for that service. Also, when we are talking about debit cards, what they are giving you, not just Revuto debit cards, not just control, but also protection and privacy. And privacy is one of the important things when paying for something with your cards. So sometimes you don't want to reveal your real identity or get, by email or by postal office the invoice what you paid for. So we act as the middleman. So actually using your Revuto debit cards to pay for something, you get privacy as well. Also, there is one cool feature. So when we talk about Web3 products, we call it stake to subscribe. So when you add your subscriptions to Revuto, we're going to actually see how much are you paying monthly. And then we're going to tell you, hey, listen, we see that you're paying, for instance, 50 euros per month for your subscriptions, and you spend that money. That money is gone. So why don't you actually invest in our token and then lock up those tokens for a certain period of time, and then use monthly staking rewards to cover your monthly subscription expenses. And this is actually how you can get your subscriptions for free. And not only that, it could be a win-win, because you get subscriptions for free, but also you earn on investing in our token. And this is something unique on the market as well. So this is like a loan that you repay, that repay itself. So yeah, those are cool feature that Web3 technology and the crypto space is allowing people to use. The third thing that is really nice and good, which we can offer, is we call it lending and borrowing feature. It's a micro lending and borrowing setup built on Web3, allowing people to borrow funds even when they don't necessarily have their own funds to pay for something. What that means. So for instance, you know that you're going to get your paycheck in 3 days or 5 days or money, and you don't have today is, for instance, it's a due date for your Netflix, and you don't have that money right now, and it's $10, and it's gonna and the Netflix, if you don't pay today, the Netflix is gonna suspend your service. But this can be for anything, you know. For instance, and I had that problem. I had to pay for a Stripe and for Shopify to run my web page, and I sold things on my web page, but still I had to wait for the Stripe to send money to my bank account so I can actually pay to them. So something like this would, be really awesome for me, to be able to borrow funds for a few days and pay for something and then return those funds for a small fee. But in a Web3 space, what we can use is those, we call them liquidity pools, where people can provide liquidity and others can borrow liquidity or funds from those pools. When it comes to Revuto, this is really unique setup because we're going to allow people to borrow funds from those liquidity pools, and those funds are going to be provided by the community, by actually other Revuto users. Obviously, they're going to be lending money in those liquidity pools for a fee, for a reward, and that reward can be really awesome reward, up to 4% monthly on what they lend. And it could be a good way to earn some money, passive income on the funds that they have. On the other hand, people who are going to be borrowing those money are going to be actually happy about it because they're going to be able to cross that liquidity gaps and pay for something even when they don't have their own funds, and return those funds within the 30 days. They're going to be returning those funds also with a fee around 6%. So if your Netflix, for instance, is going to be $10, you're going to be returning $10.60 in that liquidity pool. But when we talk about the setup, why it's also special is because we call it non-collateralized micro lending and borrowing feature. What that means, so people are not gonna have to put as a collateral anything to be eligible for those loans, micro loans. What it means, so Revuto is gonna actually use our own credit scoring mechanism, which is proprietary credit scoring mechanism built by our CTO. Our CTO has a 27 peer-reviewed patents relevant to that technology because he was working for Intuit and he did the same for Intuit and for their products. So we're gonna actually follow your patterns of payments and how many actually subscriptions you have, how many virtual debit cards you're using, when you're paying for those things, how much you're paying. And according to those details, we're gonna credit score you and make you eligible for those loans. As you're gonna be returning those loans, then we're gonna actually, your credit score is gonna go up, and then you're gonna be able to borrow even more money and use it for some other things. For instance, when we issue physical debit cards, people are gonna be able to buy things and use that buy now, pay later option. This is really important part of our ecosystem, and we are really working on this hard. So we believe this is gonna be really awesome feature and much cheaper to use and more affordable compared to traditional fintech companies, because the liquidity is going to be provided by crypto from those liquidity pools. Then yes, the next thing is monetize unused subscriptions. I already talked a little bit about that problem when people opt to prepay for something for a longer period of time. So the great example is actually when you go to your gym and you say, okay, I'm gonna now work on my body, and you go there and then you say, no, I want to pay, and then they tell you, or you go to the webpage, doesn't matter, and they say and they tell you, listen, don't pay month after month. You're going to be coming here for a longer period of time, obviously, because you cannot get in shape in 1 month. Why don't you prepay for a year? And then we're going to give you some discounts. So you're going to actually get a month or 2 for free. And you say, yeah, great. Why not? I'm going to save a month or 2 for that. And I'm going to prepay for the whole year. But what happens usually is that you're going to go there and you're going to go to your gym for a month, 2, 3, possibly 4. And most of the people after that stops or decides to quit. And then what? You actually lost money. You didn't save money by prepaying something for a year. And that analogy goes for everything else. And even when people pay for something, they opt to pay, I don't know, to use some kind of a tool for their business, or they're working on a project and project is, I don't know, is going to be done earlier, or is going to be changed, or is going to go bankrupt or something. So you opt to pay for something for a year, for 2 years. And then what happens? Usually people lose money on those setups. And there is a fact, 50% of those people lose money. And with this option, and we call it subscription NFTs, we allow people to monetize unused subscription periods. But I'm going to go into detail about that in this slide. So what we want to do is, and it says Revuto will change the subscription economy by allowing you to use NFTs to subscribe for a subscription period of your choice, get a discount, and sell or share unused subscription period for any subscription in the world. So basically, what we want to allow people is to, if they actually want to prepay for something, anything in the world, for a longer period of time to get a discount, now they're going to be able to do that with Revuto. So don't go to your Netflix, don't go to your, I don't know, Dropbox or whatever, and opt for 12 months or 2 years. No, come to us and say, listen, I want to prepay this for 10 months, 15 months, 18 months. It doesn't matter. For instance, I don't know, you're going to be working on some kind of a project, which you don't know if it's going to last. And you know that that project is going to, you're going to work on it for 15 months or 12 months. You say, okay, I'm going to buy that tool for 12 months, go to Revuto and say, I don't know, I want to, again, I want to buy, I don't know, Adobe Creative Suite, which is, let's say $10 monthly. I want to prepay that for 15 months or let's say 12 months. So we're going to say, okay, that's $120. We're going to give you 10% of discount. So you're going to pay less. But you're going to get NFT for that. And that NFT serves for nothing than as a certificate that you prepaid with us your Adobe Creative Suite for 12 months. And then that Revuto has money. It receives money. Then, as long as you have that NFT in your Revuto wallet, we're going to issue you virtual debit card for your Adobe Creative Suite. And as long as that NFT is going to be in your wallet, we're going to top up that virtual debit card with sufficient amount 24 hours before the due date, so the service provider can get paid. But this setup gives you an option. If for any reason you decide that you don't want to use Adobe Creative Suite anymore, or I don't know, you cannot use it, you are going to travel, or the project is done, or I don't know, you're going to maybe get sick or something. So you have an option to put that NFT on the market, let's say after 6 months, and then resell that NFT to somebody else because you know that you already prepaid for something and you want to monetize unused subscription period. So if there is a $60 left connected with that service, you can put it on the market, sell it, for instance, for 50 or 45 and get some money back. And how that works, you put that NFT on the marketplace, somebody else buys it, or you just give it away as a gift. And then when the new owner gets that NFT to the Revuto wallet, we see it. Obviously, we discontinue the virtual debit card connected to that service for a previous NFT owner, but we issue the new owner the new virtual debit card for his account, for his Adobe Creative Suite account, which he uses there. And then for the rest of those 6 months, we top up that virtual debit card every month so that service can be paid. Again, the new owner can, I don't know, after a month or two, do the same, put that NFT on the market and get some money back if he decides not to use the service. But again, the setup is awesome. It's unique, and it should create a secondary market for unused subscriptions. All NFTs are going to have in a metadata the information for which service it is meant to be. So for which service it's prepaid for and for how many months. Also in the app, there is going to be, that's why we have such nice colors, the way how to actually scan the NFT, that pattern of the colors, and find out within the app how many months is still left for that subscription, for specific subscription. Also, why is this really cool setup is because we are directly attacking with this gift card market, because actually with this setup you can prepay for anything in the world. You know, I don't know, if you want to send somebody 6 months of Netflix as a birthday gift, you can do it. You prepay with Revuto, you get subscription NFT for Netflix for 6 months, and then you can send that NFT to your friend or family member and set it as a gift. Still, that new owner of NFT can use it or use it partially, or after some time it can, you know, put it on market and sell it if, you know, it's not going to use those 6 months in a full. Unique setup. We think that we with this can reinvent how people are gonna prepaying with subscriptions for a longer period of time, and I don't see a reason why somebody should actually go directly to the service provider, to their webpage, and prepay for something for a longer period of time when it can do it with Revuto. It can have option to monetize unused subscription period. Also, on every payment, it's going to still be getting a cashback in the Revu token by doing so. So many advantages. So yeah, again, this is just a brief overview of how this thing should work. I think that I explained it. We're going to talk about it even more once when we launch the feature. Revolution NFTs for Netflix and Spotify, they were just an invite to the setup. So we wanted to use that marketing campaign to explain people the setup and how is that going to work. Still, those 10,000 unique Revolution NFTs for Netflix and Spotify were a bit different, because we said whoever purchased those is going to have Netflix or Spotify free for a lifetime. Again, just during the period, you know, when that NFT is actually held in a Revuto wallet. That's it. I'm not gonna spend more time explaining the setup. There's gonna be other opportunities. Let's go back to the Revuto app. Again, bringing control back in the hands of the users. All those tailor-built features that we are going to offer, and in the future we're going to offer even more than you see here, are specifically built to help people save money on their subscription, even earn money on their subscriptions, and better manage their cash flow. I'm not going to go through all of those things. So you see now here are 6 points there I explained before. 4 things we can, you know, even go further. with the things that you can do. I didn't put here, for instance, there is a really awesome way how to track those expenses. So in the app, we have, so basically, yeah, you can already today go and download the app. But there is a, so you see here, there is a special place where you can follow those statistics about all the payments that you did for the months before in the past. And not only that, you're going to get an overview of how much you were spending for what. No, you can get an overview of, you know, for each, specifically for each subscription. So for instance, you're going to go to your Netflix, and then you're going to see how much did you spend on your Netflix, and then what cards did you use to spend on Netflix, or if you use crypto. And then you later on, you're going to be able to do the same for each payment source specifically. So you're going to, I don't know, if you're going to have 3 cards added to Revuto, which you're going to use for a top-up source for Revuto debit cards, then if you select on specifically on each of those, you're going to see, you know, what you paid with what card. So all those things are really awesome to actually help people track their expenses, manage their expenses, payments. Yeah, so and in the future we're gonna add more features. Okay, let's move on. Revuto numbers. I need to be fast. I don't have much time here. Revuto numbers. So far, 355,400 users are registered with Revuto. I can actually share the, let's go here, the data, live data. Let's go here. Not here. Let's go here. Okay, this is the wallet, the users. Okay, so 355,425 users registered with Revuto so far. So there is a difference. So we divide those users from those who are coming from the European Economic Area and those outside the European Economic Area. Why is that so? Because only for those, for now, coming from European Economic Area, we are complying to issue debit cards to those users. Although everybody else are still eligible to use our crypto wallet, staking center, and features, limited features connected to the active subscription management service. So they're not going to be able to get cards to subscribe with those services, but still, even now you can go to Revuto, download the app and add your subscriptions to Revuto, and you're gonna still be getting the notifications, the messages about the payment due, and you can set up the Revuto to get email notifications about it and many other things as well. Just to go briefly, demographics. So obviously, yeah, there's a reason why we have the most people coming from India, because they were chasing those referral rewards, but we cannot serve those guys. The second country, interestingly, is UK, mostly because we have had previously in the past some marketing campaigns on the UK market, promoting Revuto on sport events. The second country, or the third country, which is actually important to us, is Turkey. 40,000 people coming from Turkey is really amazing to see. Although we already 2/3 of investors from our token cell were from Turkey, so this is an amazing number, and we are looking how to actually expand our service to the Turkish market. Spain, 27,000 people, more than 27. Indonesia, Italy, 16, Bangladesh, Brazil, Vietnam, Croatia, obviously, because we are from Croatia, 11,000, and so on. Let's go back to the presentation. Okay. From those 355,000, 61,000 users created the crypto wallet with us. And this is important number because 2.9 thousand people are staking with our staking center. So around 3 million, 3 million in US dollars are staked under Revuto staking center. This is amazing result. And we're gonna use also the data to actually credit score our users. Strategic partnerships 17, although we are every month making new partnerships within the Cardano ecosystem with other crypto projects to allow them to actually promote them through our staking center and offer our users rewards in their own token. Also, we want to support them later on with our virtual debit cards, allowing our users to use tokens from different projects to top up those cards. Then, yeah, the average transactional volume on our wallet is always more than $1 million, but it depends how you count it, because the prices are going up and down. And we are also earning money on those transactions, because whenever you do a withdrawal from the Revuto wallet or you exit the staking center, we take a small fee in Revuto token. So all those numbers are really great, considering that we still didn't launch the core feature. We have exceptional user base, really great support from the community, from the Telegram, Twitter, Discord. On the YouTube channel, we have people watching our videos. So all those numbers are great. At the moment, the pace and the pace within the crypto market is a bit slower. So engagement is lower, obviously, but still good numbers. We are active on Telegram. Our admins are answering questions 24/7. So even on the Discord. So yeah, keeping good connection with the community is really important for us. Go-to-market strategy interaction. I'm not gonna talk much about it, but I still can say that compared to other fintech companies, which we are in the end, we are in much better position, because even like the lifetime value of our customers is much bigger, because we combine Web 2 and Web 3 financial products. We have really low customer acquisition cost, because we have a really awesome referral program, which worked amazing in past for us. And what that means is that whenever you refer your friend to Revuto, you're gonna get a one-time reward in our token. And this is something different than other fintech companies do, because they're spending investor money to buy, well, to acquire other customers, but actually they're buying customers. We are using our own token, which is more appealing to users, because then we sell them that story, that the token that they can get with time more in price. It's much more worth, because if you get, I don't know, 30 or 40 euros, it's going to be always 30 euros. But if you get 30 euros in Revuto token, that can eventually be 300 euros in the end, in a few months, or even you have an option to use that money to stake it, or to borrow it in micro lending and borrowing liquidity pools and do other things with that reward. But then also we have a lifetime reward. So what that means whenever your referred friend is going to use Revuto to pay for something, you're going to get a portion of his cash back in Revuto tokens. And this is also something amazing. We call it a passive income thing. And you can actually calculate that. I'm going to go to a web page. Let me check. So let's go here. Revuto. So there is an earn section, but you can actually calculate how much you can get in Revuto token. On your own payments, if you use Revuto to pay for your subscriptions, and when your referred friends do the same. So you just can enter here how many subscriptions you have, how many subscriptions your referred friends have on average, and how many referred friends you have, and what's the average monthly price of their subscriptions. And you can actually calculate how much you earn. So if you put here, I don't know, change the price of monthly subscription, you see how this changes, and this is how much you save monthly, and you saved it in Revuto token, and that can also with time go up. So again, there shouldn't be a reason why in the future somebody would even consider using his own debit or credit cards to subscribe with something when there is a Revuto, and you can, again, save money, earn money as we see it, get privacy, get protection, all those cool use all those cool features to, again, save or earn money, borrow funds, snooze payments, lend funds to earn something, stake to pay for something. So actually also NFTs, when you're staking Revuto tokens, you can get a special NFTs, and we have two kind of special NFTs, and all NFTs, by the way, in the Revuto ecosystem, they bring utility. So if you stake Revuto tokens for 6 months, you get a special NFT, and if you have this, it's going to double your rewards. And we also have an NFT which is going to triple your rewards. So you can check about Revuto NFTs on our Gitbook or on our webpage or on a Medium blog post, learn about those and see what they bring you in Revuto ecosystem. They are important part of the ecosystem, and with them you can save even more. Okay, so let's get back here. Play from a current side. Yeah, so this is why we believe that we're gonna get even more users in the future because of that really awesome referral program. We're gonna start with the UK and European Union. Why? Because we are compliant, we are a regulated company, we have electronic money institution license from Bank of Lithuania. I can share the link to it. It can be checked on a web page. So first we're going to start with the UK. It's a financial powerhouse of our European continent, let's say so. And yeah, we have a lot of users, as you saw, more than 40,000 registered users from the UK. So this is the country that we're going to start with, and then with the rest of the European Union, with some exemptions. Malta, probably Germany and Austria in the beginning, but we're gonna soon be compliant to be allowed to issue debit cards there as well. And then later on next year and in next 2 years, we have a plan to actually go abroad. So the plan is to go global with this. We're gonna be opening other regions step by step, depending on which market we think are more important to us and where it's easier to go. This is just a small overview of the company. So this was the recent it was one document which did deep dive into fintech companies coming from the Central Eastern Europe, and we were named as one of the startups to watch out for. We believe that we have, really good product market fit actually, and then we have that Revuto can really grow above the borders of the European Union, and that we can really become a significant player in the world when it comes to fintech products. So basically we are aiming at a unicorn status in next 2 to 3 years. Okay, let's go back here. Financials. I'm pretty sure that you are aware of that we raised $10 million through our ICO. That was really amazing result. We literally raised those funds in minutes. We had 3 public rounds and 1 private round. The private round was filled up really fast. It was 1.7 million. All investors, I could say, came from the retail investors, all investments. We had only one crypto VC, the local one, Black Dragon, invested in, I believe it was 250,000, but although behind that investment were a bunch of other retail investors, so we don't have whales, we don't have VCs at the moment, although we would now love to sell some equity, actually to get some cash in the bank. There are particularly reasons why we would love to do so, and not only to get additional funding, but also to have some cash unassociated with the crypto. It says more than $2 million staked. It says $120,000 sales in NFTs. That's more now like 150 or something like that from those Revolution NFTs. At the moment, we don't offer any Revolution NFTs except card NFTs. So I would suggest you to go to our app or on marketplaces and buy that NFT, because we have a limited number of 10,000 NFTs, which are going to allow you to get early access to our physical debit cards. 8,000 of those are going to be premium debit cards and 2,000 of those metal cards. And it's a really awesome product, offering awesome feature. We even call those debit cards credit cards, because they're going to offer you that buy now, pay later option. Also, we have our fund. We invested in other crypto projects, more than $300,000 so far. And we received a European grant from Eurostars, Eureka Eurostars, of $600,000. So this is also something that, regarding the financials. Let's move. The monetization, why is this important to explain even to our investors and token holders? Because the Revuto is set up to be a sustainable and profitable business. So there are 2 business models that we are counting on. One is a freemium business model and other is a premium business model. Although this one, freemium, is called freemium, it's free for users. Revuto, it's free app. In that model, we charge 4% of a protection fee whenever somebody's using Revuto to pay for something. We believe that's a fair cut, because we, even in that business model, we allow people to get virtual debit cards to use with their services, although it's going to be a limited number of cards that they're going to be able to get. And then it's going to offer them a protection against those free trial traps. So with Revuto, even if you forget to unsubscribe on time, you're going to be protected from those unwanted, unexpected expenses. And if, for instance, we save you even like $10 a month on those things, 4% is nothing. So if you're going to pay your Netflix with Revuto $10, then 40 cents is going to be a small fee in a freemium business model that you're going to pay. But still, we aim at that premium business model. So we want to achieve as much as possible those premium paying customers, which are going to be paying monthly to use our service, or there's going to be option to buy our token and stake our token for a certain period of time to be able to use a premium features, which I believe is a really awesome way to not only to save money on premium features, but also save money on or earn money on investing in our tokens. So basically, you're going to be investing in our token, holding the token as an investment, and also be able to use our premium service in that way for free. But when we're talking about the revenue streams, then yeah, there are going to be some small fees regarding debit card top up, interchange fees when you top up your debit card with credit or debit cards in other currencies, as mentioned, protection fee, and there are some other transaction fees which we already have within the Revuto wallet. Premium business model is SaaS model, so you're going to be paying monthly for a service, or again, as also we are trying to save money to our users on subscriptions, we're going to allow them not to pay but to invest a bit in our token, okay, and yeah, and save money on that. I'm going to move to different room because I need to go from here. Just a second. Just a second. Moving to different room. I wasn't fast enough with this, obviously. Okay, here's the free office. Actually, at the moment we are using office space in Croatia for our team. So we have those offices or rooms which we can use for to make video calls, and I'm using that at the moment. Okay. Yeah, and also when it comes to monetization, we are using those Web3 setups to earn money. Micro lending and borrowing feature is also something that we're gonna try to earn some money on. Also on staking, minting NFTs, and royalty fees on the NFTs. So whenever people are gonna be selling those NFTs, Revuto is gonna get some small portion of that transaction. Expected break even. So this is something that I was often lately asked on a Telegram channel and on a Discord. So it depends when we're gonna be. It depends on the users and on the user growth and on the paying customers. How many paying customers we're gonna actually have from those users when we're gonna be profitable. Fintech companies, they have a problem with profitability because usually they're not profitable in the first year, 2 years, 3 years, again, depending on how fast they grow. But even some companies are not profitable with having more than a few million users. With us, it's different because for many things that we can actually, we can monetize on. And also why we are different, because we have a substantial supply of our tokens still within the company. 53% of the token supply is still held by the company, now maybe something less. And that is opportunity for significant capital gain within the company if the token price goes up. So we're going to have additional capital to do things and not spend money as other fintechs do. Roadmap. This here, I believe that the roadmap is only till for the next 2 years. So this is from the past when the company was funded. Initial business validation was actually our token sale, which went really well. So retail investors, they in a way show that there is an interest in what we do. They approved our business model. Then we launched the app that was in August 2021. Yeah. Oh, I have to move again. No luck for me. I'm going back to the office. Dečki, samo smanjite muziku. Ja sam live. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah. Now I'm just not sure how well the connection is gonna be moving all around. Yeah, the roadmap. What this is important milestone for us, launching the Revuto debit cards and then spreading the service to other regions, launching additional auxiliary features, but then also spreading to other regions, Middle East, North Africa, Latin America, and eventually the US market. This is the most important market for us. Also, we want to add additional payment options, not just allow people to use crypto and their debit and credit cards to top up Revuto virtual debit cards, but maybe possibly use e-cash wallets like PaySafe, Skrill, so they can on-ramp cash to the system, to those cards, maybe PayPal as well, and things like that. Uniqueness, passionate team, fast-growing community. I'm gonna go through the team a bit later. Proprietary, patentable technology. So we have AI expert, our CTO, and we're gonna use data mining to actually offer you really cool features. And there is a categorization and tokenization and credit scoring, which Marco is going to work on. Credit scoring is really important for us. When we talk about the tokenization, well, categorization of financial transactions and subscription tokenization, this is going to allow us actually to offer you in the future a single virtual debit card to rule them all. So to use with all the services that you have. For the start, we're gonna issue you virtual debit card for each the subscription that you have, but eventually in the end, you're gonna be able to use the single virtual debit card to do the same. And what is unique, yeah, the crypto thing, Web3 products, DeFi setups, NFTs, and who knows what later in the future, staking options. Competition, obviously there are always competitors out there, but Revuto is the only one who is actually offering all the unique things that we believe are helping people save money and better manage those subscription payments. Some of those you probably know, the Revolut, and I have to admit that Revolut has a subscription management thing. But the Revolut, as many other super apps for your financial hygiene, are neobanks, and they're doing everything, trying to do everything, but they do it just on a high level. So only Revuto is focusing directly on the use case of subscriptions and helping you solve that particular problem with managing your recurring payments. Yeah. And saving you money on free trial apps, and as mentioned, on not losing money on something that you prepay for a longer period of time. There is an option. Well, there is a plan to also tackle the market of utility payments, because those are recurring payments as well in the future. But that's gonna come later. Yeah, I'm not gonna spend more time on explaining this. Just, you're gonna download the app and check it by yourself. The team, this is something that is really important for me. I have a great team. All those people that you see here are my friends. I met them through my life. I already talked about Josipa and Marco, which I met in the US. So all those guys, they have experience in fintech business or financial world. Some of them are blockchain experts, and some of them, or I would say all of us, are, besides our developers, Marco and Dorian, are serial entrepreneurs. You can check them on LinkedIn. They, not so often as I, they come to our monthly Ask Me Anything events. Marco is a bit shy. He doesn't want to talk much about things, but I believe that he's the brains behind everything. He's one of the main reasons why I think that this is gonna be a really awesome venture in the future, because of his expertise in AI and that credit scoring thing. Using his brains, we can do and offer so many cool features to you. Yeah, and that's it. This is a Revuto. I'm gonna now stop presenting my screen, or actually I'm gonna stop presenting my screen, and then I'm gonna actually also, I don't know how to do that, put away the background. None. Okay. In order to see this nice group of people working today from the office. Say hello.
Hello.
Boris. Yeah. And that's it. That's it for today. See you next time when I'm gonna be talking about I don't know what. Well, I know, but let's make it surprise. Bye to everybody.